Hello everybody. Welcome back. Oh my god. Okay, this is probably better. Welcome back everybody to my channel. My name is Tatiana. If you don't know, you guys, I'm going to attempt to share my testimony in 10 minutes. I've already tried this once. I hated the way it looked. It's a bad angle, so we're hoping this one is better, okay? The lighting is also going down. I'm sorry, but I hate natural bright light, so we're gonna just deal with it. So, really hope this one works. Please, Jesus. Set timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, counting down.
All right, so like I said, my name is Tatiana. I am 27 years old. I live in Chicago. From Chicago, I live at home with my parents. My dad is Ecuadorian and my mom is Colombian. So I grew up as a single child for a long time in a Christian household with my parents. I still live here with them. I grew up very much influenced by relationship with God and Christianity in the church. Very typical church girl upbringing. So that's how I grew up, but it was very clear from the beginning that relationship with Jesus was something that I had to choose for myself, that it wasn't something that could be forced on me, that it was something I had to choose. And I feel that unlike a lot of people who accept Jesus when they're very young, 4 or 5, and don't remember it much, I really distinctively to this day remember just desiring the Lord when it was explained to me, connecting with the truth and wanting that and doing it for real. And so I do remember doing that as my parents walked me through the salvation prayer, truly connecting with Jesus and wanting him and realizing that that was everything. Of course, your understanding is so limited when you're little, and well, I guess not as limited, but to a degree, there's so much more to know about God and relationship with him that I was not as able to really connect with that at 5 years old. And so growing up, I continued to go to church. My parents sent me to church camps. They really helped facilitate a space for me to connect more with God as I grew up in middle school, to reconnect and recommit my life with him, learning more and more what life with Jesus really was like. It wasn't till high school, where I still loved Jesus, that I met a boy and began dating. And this boy really liked me, and I thought that I really liked him too. I really didn't know what to do with someone that had such strong feelings with me, who really liked me, thought I was so pretty, and just like really wanted to be with me. I don't know that any 15-year-old, 16-year-old really knows what to do with those feelings besides enjoy being loved. I think growing up there was a lot of unmet needs emotionally from my parents, from other people, that I was left with this lack, this hole of needing love and needing safety and wanting someone to truly understand who I was when I didn't even know what my identity was and who I was. I dated this boy for 2 years. It was a very codependent, isolated relationship. I didn't have many friends. He was my entire life. We would text and talk on the phone all the time, all night long. It was a very unhealthy attachment where God was still there, but I didn't even really know what it meant to connect with God because I was connecting with this boy 24/7. He became my purpose, my life. He wanted to marry me. It was very much like, okay, this is it. Like, other people have to date tons of people to figure out who they're going to be with, but like, I've got my person. Like, that was kind of what I thought. 2 years into the relationship, I started working and met a different guy at my job, and he was instantly attracted to me and interested in me, and I couldn't help but feel attracted to him as well and confused. He was not a believer. My current boyfriend was at the time a believer, and I was just confused. I didn't know what boundaries were. I entertained a friendship with this person, thinking we could be friends, that I could lead him to Christ. Long story short, my boyfriend ended up breaking things off with me, broke my heart because of the friendship I had with this guy. I was left so alone, so confused, so guilty and ashamed for liking someone else that wasn't my boyfriend. During the end of our relationship, my parents had been pressuring and trying to force me to join an adult, like a young adult women's small group, now that I was out of high school, 19 years old, it was very important to them that if I was going to live at home, I was going to join a small group. So I didn't want to. I was so sucked into my relationship. I was so obsessed. It was rough for me. I put on a lot of excuses to not go. The Lord ended up bringing the most amazing woman into my life who pursued me and had a heart for me to join her small group of girls that were my age, that were living this adult life with Jesus. I put up so many excuses for her to not go. I was difficult and stubborn, but she pursued me like Jesus did. And eventually I went and I joined. And the moment I joined, I truly learned what sisterhood is and was. And I quickly learned that I wasn't the only one that was going through pain and struggle and broken relationships with my parents. And a relationship with my parents was very tumultuous growing up, especially in high school. And so my boyfriend was kind of an escape to that. It was a fulfillment of what I thought I needed. So fast forward to when I'm back and I start this small group, my eyes are opened, I'm seeing something new. My boyfriend dumps me, right, because of the friendship with the guy from work. I'm left so broken, and I fall into the arms of these sisters, of these women who loved me, who picked me back up, who supported me and got me back on my feet after my first really painful breakup. It was such a sweet season where I learned so much about myself and others. I did still have feelings though for this guy from work, and I really struggled to let go of that connection and that, whatever you want to call it, relationship, friendship. I really struggled. He had fallen in love with me, and I had deep feelings for him as well. Long story short, conviction won, but I learned what disobedience was, and I learned that there's consequences to disobedience. And when I broke things off with him, there was a lot of pain in my heart, deeper pain than before. And I almost feel like there was a soul tie to this man, and just such a deep attachment that I didn't know would be created from knowing him and connecting with him and allowing him into my heart. The next couple years were really rough. I was very depressed. My feelings for this man would not leave me. And at that time too, I had been exploring kind of in Christianity what the prophetic was, miracles and all of these kind of mystical things that some Christians would practice. I started exploring into that and kind of just searching, and I saw different testimonies and people who had felt like they knew prophetically who their husband would be in the future. And I believed that this man would be my husband, that the Lord would save him and bring him back into my life. And there was different people that I think that would support that belief and kind of encourage it or speak over me. And it was a confusing season of trusting the Lord was going to bring him back into my life, but also confused if I was wrong. It wasn't until the Lord brought another woman into my life who blessed me deeply, had a heart for me, saw how depressed and in my head I was, and the moment I connected with her, I shared everything, and she prayed a prayer of deliverance and healing over me when it comes to this man. And I don't know how, and I don't know why, and I don't pretend to understand, but the next morning I woke up free, completely free and broken off from this tie with this man. Whatever tie there was, whatever connection, I felt freedom. I felt a release of whether God would bring him back or never. I was at peace and I was content. And that began the sweetest season of my life, of deep intimacy with God, of deep conviction, of this father and daughter journey where I truly learned about myself. The Lord brought an amazing Christian therapist into my life at the time when I saw that I needed healing from things that I didn't know how to get myself, and I knew that I needed there to be someone to teach me tools to understand myself. That therapist has been the biggest blessing in my entire life, of giving me the tools to understand my emotions and where they come from, but also bringing God and the Lord into it. And truly the most breakthrough I've had in my life is because of Christian therapy, specifically with the woman that God put into my life to counsel me. So it was this, along with sisterhood, along with this deep intimacy with Jesus, that truly, my 10-minute timer is up, but I'm almost done, I promise. it's what really grew my relationship with Jesus. It's what's really got me to the place of like, this is what real life with Jesus is. I experienced it for myself in truth, in mind, in heart, and in soul, in every part of my being. And it was out of this beautiful, fruitful season that I met the man that I am now dating, that, Lord willing, I will be engaged to soon. And that's a gist of everything. The Lord met me at my lowest, just like everyone has a story, and I hope this encourages you. There's so much more that I could say, little details about my life and upbringing that would bring clarity and deeper, revelation. But I only had 10 minutes today, so I just wanted to share the gist of my story. So thank you for listening if you watched this, and I'll see you in my next video.